When we introduce a restaurant in Japan, we will need to focus on a few key things, all the while keeping in mind that starting a business in Japan will take much longer than starting one in the United States. First of all, we need to have a physical store in which we can operate. What we asked ourselves next was if we would be better off building a store or purchasing an already existing building and operating Chipotle out of that building. According to the World Bank, just to obtain a building permit in Japan, it takes 103 days. This means that we would not even be able to begin construction on a new building for almost 4 months while the paperwork is being processed. Because of this, we decided that it is in our best interest to operate out of a building that is already constructed. Due to the amount of time that it takes to accomplish business aspects in Japan, we need to plan ahead so that we can have everything ready and we aren't left waiting when we are ready to begin operating. There will be many little things along the way that we will have to keep in mind because conducting business is so different in Japan than in the United States. For example, one small thing is being connected to electricity. In the United States, it is extremely easy to obtain electricity. And once a call is placed to an electric company, the electricity will generally be connected within a few days. However, in Japan, it takes 105 days to be connected to electricity. We are going to have to adjust dates that we would normally call to have things like this accomplished in the United States and plan them far in advance so that everything is ready on time. Finally, Japan also has extremely long and complex paperwork that we will need to have filled out correctly. Just in order to register a business, it will require a certificate of the seller's seal impression, payment of stamp duty at a post office, an application filled out at the Legal Affairs Bureau, and payment of real property acquisitions tax. All of this comes with a lot of paperwork, and this paperwork will be in the Japanese language. In order to ensure that we have correctly interpreted and filled out the paperwork in a way that both follows and shows we respect the Japanese culture, we have decided it will be in our best interest to hire Japanese lawyers to help us through this process. The Japanese lawyers will also be able to help us plan ahead so that all of our paperwork is submitted in proper format and on time. Although it will be challenging to navigate the Japanese economy, specifically the Japanese language, and remembering to consider the amount of time it takes to accomplish things in Japan, we believe that with the help of Japanese lawyers, we can successfully plan and open the first Chipotle store in the Asian market.